What's up, my PT peeps? One Eye Bri back to talk about The Walking Dead and do a discussion about these guys right here. And will the Whisperers come early? Spoiler warning about this group, the show, the series, the comics. If you don't want to know, stop watching now because we don't want to ruin anything for you guys, because eventually these guys are coming to the show and we're going to talk about it a little bit. So comicbook.com, we'll put the link in the description as always, so definitely check out the article, and here we go. A good villain is necessary for a good series. This concept has comic fans already looking forward to the next group of villains for the show. Instead of just one man, the comic introduced the Whisperers to be the next evil force. If you aren't familiar, the Whisperers are a group of people that believe the infection was a way of reverting people to their animalistic nature. They have thrown away most rules and are run by one alpha. But on the show, we had the governor, who was kind of like the starter villain. He wasn't the worst by any means compared to Negan and then Alpha. We have Negan on the show right now, and I think there's a transition and a kind of progression of the villains on the show. You know, you got the governor, Negan, and then you got Alpha. Now, looking at Alpha, you don't really say, oh, it's not very much to the character, but if you know anything about her and you know about Beta, Alpha and Beta are two really bad news bears for the group. The craziest thing about these people is that they dress as walkers so they can move around the hordes. Yes, you read that correctly, the Whisperers wear dead zombie skin. It's as disgusting as it sounds. Either way, these are compelling villains that comic fans are really looking forward to seeing come to life on the show. The descriptions for the next couple of episodes actually have many fans wondering if they will show up early. Episode 6 is said to follow Tara and Heath, and the two find a new mysterious group. There's a large rumor that will be the Whisperers. Now, I don't think so, and we're only episode 5 as we make this video. It's in another week, but let's talk about the Whisperers a little bit. They basically wear skins on there too. That's Jesus saying, what the hell is up with this? That's Alpha. See that she takes the walker skin off of her face and head, and that's kind of crazy, right? They're not the best group of people. Also, they do some crazy stuff with, rape and against that too, but I don't want to get all into it. But basically, if that's the case, the group will be arriving much earlier than they did in the comics. According to the source material, the group doesn't start appearing until after Negan and Rick go to war. It's an exclusive interview with The Walking Dead showrunner Scott Gimple. Comicbook.com insider Brandon Davis brought up this very rumor. He asked Gimple if there was any chance these people could be the Whisperers. And the people they're talking about is the ones that were in the trailer that we'll most likely see in episode 6 when Tara and Heath find a mysterious group. And the mysterious group is probably throwing people to think that it's the Whisperers, but according to a lot of different spoiler sites and a lot of different groups, it's not. And the picture of the walkers with Heath that are in that group just could be walkers that come through a pile of soot and rock and debris. I think this group is going to be like a sub-militia with some weapons. They know how to take care of themselves. I see kind of military style within the trees and the fatigue and just the way they handle themselves in the trailer with the guns and the walking around. But Tara and Heath are going to find a mysterious group that some people believe that it's them, but I do not think it is them. Do you think the Whisperers are coming? Do you think they're not? We made a video all about these. Are these the Whisperers in that? The Whisperers came into the Walking Dead universe in issue 130 with the bigger appearance in issue 136, and that is pretty far off from where we are right now in the Walking Dead show. If we've gotten this far without saying anything about them, I'd like the audience to discover this group when it's on screen, said Gimble. I will say, it's not the Whisperers. I will also say, though, that it's not impossible that the Whisperers could come along, or aspects of them could come along earlier than the timeline of the book, but certainly not this early. So they're coming on screen. What I got of it, it's just not yet. Like I said, issue 130. I think they're at issue 104 right now in the show, 104 or 108, around that timeline in the comics. So we'll see, because this is 136 is when the Whisperers really come out of town, and that's pretty far away. That would probably be season 9, I would think, 8 or 9-ish, how fast they go. If no one has figured out who this group is, then the chances are it's a new introduction that was absent from the comics. More importantly, there's a great chance the Whisperers show up earlier than expected. It may be much too early right now, but teasing them at some point later on the season would make a lot of sense. This would provide a flawless transition from Negan to the Whisperers, and I think that's cool. I think they got to give little glimpses of them, maybe runners go out, or there's like stories being said about it, or something like that. There's little Easter eggs on the wall, or something about it at all. I think that would be kind of interesting to see. Too, the Whisperers are going to come to the show. They have to come to the show, especially because I think they're just made for television, just the way they look. They're a little rough and tough to look at based on the comic drawings. I don't know how it would be on the show, how they would actually pull it off with certain masks and things like that, or however they would be with hordes of walkers. I don't know, it'd be kind of cool. I just think it would be pretty awesome to see. But either way, Negan is plenty enough for audiences to handle at the moment. He seems to be a little much for Rick too. Hopefully that won't last much longer, and I think it won't. We're in episode 5, season 7, and I think that'll take. The tides have turned a little bit since last episode, and they will start in this episode and slowly do things with the victories for the survivors, and they're going to get little things and build a little army, build a group. More people are going to join them and join the fray against the saviors going forward. But Negan is a bit much for the show. He's changed the dynamic of the show, and it's kind of tough to watch the survivors struggling. So hopefully they get their mojo back, especially they're going to need it against these Whisperers for sure. With Rick versus Alpha, should be a good time. So on the show, there you go, guys. Like, share, subscribe to get more videos. You guys are awesome, and thank you for watching.